Let's go! Did LSU miss out on something special with Cole Lourd? Why did they even offer this 3-star QB who most of his offers are from non-Power 5 schools? And yes, he did choose Texas, but is LSU offering him saying something about the quarterback room that they have now? At the end of today's video, I'm going to update you on the latest with this LSU recruiting class. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's get to it. So yeah, I got a lot of questions about Cole Lourd, and it happened so late in the cycle, and LSU did offer him, and he did end up choosing Texas, as you could see here. Now, why did these offers come in so late? Well, there is a good feature that I want you to read from my friend Joe Hoyt. It is in the description below. A lot of these kids did not get the same exposure in front of the college scouts that they normally got. So for Cole Lourd, who has family ties to LSU, he always had a preferred walk-on offer, and before they were going to offer him a scholarship, they wanted to evaluate him in person. Well, Cole Lourd didn't get to play high school football this season because he's in California, and that hurt his in-person evaluation. And in Joe's story, you learn that it hurt everybody's evaluation, even kids in Texas where they played a full high school football season. So I shared this tweet a little bit earlier. I do believe we are going to see better teams in the non-Power 5 over the next few years because a lot of these kids that blossom late, well, they didn't get evaluated properly by the Division I schools, thus them not getting their offers. So, yeah, I do believe Cole Lourd fell victim to this. And I was like a lot of you, well, why is he getting an offer? Isn't our quarterback room already loaded? I thought we had Garrett Nussmeier. But let's take a look a little bit deeper. So this is Greg Biggins of 247 Sports. I want you to read the last part of this quote. He has filled out over the last year and looks bigger and stronger and his arm more live as well. So this is Greg Biggins, who I actually like a lot. I actually do think his evaluations, for the most part, are fair. And look, notice what he said. He looks different. Cole Lourd was a late bloomer when it comes to size. He's not unbelievably big. He's not unbelievably fast. But last year, he was not 6'2", over 200. So he is a late bloomer. And that's the thing. You didn't get to see him play his senior year of high school football, which is obviously a key development year for a 3-star quarterback. Now, of course, you have your 4- and 5-star quarterbacks, like, for instance, Trevor Lawrence. When his junior tape was out, it was pretty clear he was going to be one of the greatest prospects ever. But that's not the case for most lower-level 4-star and 3-star prospects. So I want you to take a look at the tweet here from Cole Lourd. So unbelievably blessed to receive an offer from my dad's alma mater, Louisiana State University. Huge thanks to Coach Peetz Russ Callaway and Derek Panamsky. So obviously, two of those names are familiar. Derek Panamsky is Ed Orgeron's ace right-hand man, and Russ Callaway, a very popular assistant on this LSU staff who works a lot individually with all the quarterbacks. But notice the new name there is Jake Peetz. And while we don't know a whole lot about Jake Peetz, what we do know is that, well, he's coming in with a fresh set of eyes. He might look at the quarterback position differently than all the other coaches that were at LSU prior to him getting there. And I was going through Cole Lourd's tape, and I was trying to see if there was a certain skill or a certain trait that he had that maybe the other LSU quarterbacks didn't have, and I think I might have found it. The one thing that I saw consistently with Cole Lourd's tape is his ability to throw with anticipation and step up into the pocket. So what I'm going to show you here is Jake Peetz working with the Carolina Panthers quarterbacks, which, of course, is his former job. He was a quarterbacks coach for the Carolina Panthers. So he wasn't the play caller, nor was he an analyst like DJ Mangus, but he did work really hard. By all accounts, Jake Peetz is really, really particular with quarterback skill sets. So far with the LSU quarterbacks, he has reportedly been sending them home with homework. And one drill that I saw via the Carolina Panthers site was the Carolina Panthers quarterback stepping up into the pocket with the rush coming around the edge. And Cole Lourd did that consistently. And not only did he do that, he was an ace in the red zone. He was really quick at reading blitzes. I really enjoyed his tape. Now, what about Garrett Nussmeier? I thought LSU already had Garrett Nussmeier. Well, let me just say this, and before you all flip out, at least hear me out. So I've been watching Garrett Nussmeier's huddle, and his senior season was, of course, nothing short of incredible. Marcus High School, a very competitive level of Texas high school football. And we all know Garrett Nussmeier is really one of the most important pieces to the class of 2021. Even if you think Max Johnson is going to start the next 3 years, Garrett Nussmeier did a lot of the recruiting for this LSU class to convince as many kids as he possibly could to come join him at LSU. Garrett Nussmeier, heavy ties to Lake Charles, Louisiana. A lot like Cole Lourd, heavy family ties to Louisiana. So, yeah, this was a match made in heaven, and it also helps out that his dad, of course, was the offensive coordinator at multiple high-level places, such as Alabama. But one thing about Garrett Nussmeier's tape is that he rarely stepped into the pocket. Because he is a really good athlete, he was able to pirouette, this spin move he uses a lot out to his left to create extra time. He was also able to just drift to the left, drift to the right, and throw off his back leg. Now, that doesn't mean he won't become an elite SEC quarterback. He's got all the tools. He's got a great arm. He's got a great work ethic. He does throw with really good anticipation. My point is that when I watch Garrett Nussmeier's tape and I watch Cole Lourd's tape, obviously I only have Cole Lourd's junior tape to really evaluate. I don't see any difference between the two quarterbacks. And that's the hardest thing about quarterback evaluating, is that, yes, 4 and 5 stars matter at most positions, but at quarterback, it's honestly all over the place. For every Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, you have Johnny Manziel's and Marcus Mariota's and Zach Wilson's. So you just don't know. It's just too hard of a position to evaluate. And after watching Cole, and once again, I just have his junior tape, I do think he could be a starter in Steve Sarkisian's offense. He's a little bit better of a runner than people give him credit for, but his anticipation, his accuracy, I don't think his skill position guys were elite. It was ridiculous. I was legit blown away. And I was like a lot of you at first. Well, we don't need them. We got a loaded quarterback room. How many of the quarterbacks in the LSU room would you consider elite? Consider a national championship winning quarterback? Well, we don't know. Max Johnson could be. Myles Brennan could be. TJ Finley could be. But that's a lot of could-bes. There's no sure thing. So I get Jake Peetz wanting to come in late. You have 3 open slots left. I think LSU read the tea leaves on Rajon Davis. And if Cole Lourd would have accepted the scholarship offer, LSU still would have had 2 slots remaining. He did end up choosing Texas. It probably is a better room. I don't think that quarterback room is as competitive or as good as what LSU is going to have over the next few years. So it makes a lot of sense. My major takeaways from this, because it was so not necessarily out of left field, because Lourd did have the preferred walk-on opportunity from LSU for a long time, so it wasn't just completely random. But you look at some of the other schools that offered him, like an Ole Miss, who, like Lane Kiffin, respects a pocket quarterback who could step up in the pocket. I I get it. I totally get it. And that's why it's very important to watch the tape and make your own evaluations. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different. There's not, anything I want to say on the Brian Thomas. I know I made a post about it yesterday. There's nothing really new to report. If LSU gets him, they get him. If he goes to Texas A&M, heck, it might be dated. He might make a decision by the time I post this video. All the power to him. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Let's go, Nuss. Let's go. Woo. What are we having tonight? Oh, I'm having a blue cheese grilled chicken salad with some Frank's Red Hot drizzle.